Right, so hello and welcome back to the channel. Every year in the Premier League there's always breakout stars, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. And they're not necessarily the youngest player in the team. Sometimes it just takes a player a year or two to properly develop and become a superstar, or at least someone that the media likes. So I'm going to have a look at every Premier League team and tell you what player is going to have their breakout year. And there are some interesting inclusions in here indeed. Now, before we even get into the list, please subscribe to the channel below. It would mean an awful lot to me, and share it around as well. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Fabio Vieira. Arsenal were quite tricky because a lot of their players had their sort of breakthrough season last year. The likes of Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Saliba, even Ramsdale to an extent. So the clear contender here is Fabio Vieira. And look, he's clearly a decent player, Fabio Vieira. 30 million from Porto last summer, 33 games, 2 goals, 6 assists. It's not really the right turn for it. And he played a lot of minutes as well. He played about half of those game times as well. So when you take all of that into consideration, he is a good attacking player. And with Arsenal playing Champions League football next year, they are going to need a massive squad. And he's going to really need to step up in Odegaard's absence, as he won't be able to play all the games, and really put his mark on this team. Aston Villa, Diego Carlos. This guy is going to be fantastic next year. I've no doubts about this. They beat Newcastle to the signature of him last summer for £30 million from Sevilla, but he was out all year. And I think he's going to come back with a vengeance, and he's really going to prove why he is the best centre-back outside of the top 7 clubs. Yes, I'm including Newcastle in that now. The top 7 clubs, he will be the best centre-back outside of it. Just you watch. Bournemouth, Marcus Tavernier. Now, I will say that Tavernier had a pretty good first season in the Premier League anyway, coming in from Middlesbrough for £10 million. He looked a pretty competent Premier League winger. And look, he's quick, he's skillful, but if he could just talk with his brother James and work on his set pieces and get better at his crossing, I think we're going to have a real breakthrough star on our hands at Bournemouth. Brentford, Aaron Hickey. I promise you it's not biased.
Are you sure about that?
Aaron Hickey's always had a good understanding of the game. I mean, he started in a Scottish Cup final at 16 years of age, and he's only going from strength to strength. What he really needed to work on, it wasn't defensively, it wasn't offensively, which yes, he could get better at. It was the physicality of everything. He looked like a scrawny, skinny boy, but he looks up to pace with everything now. He's building on a bit more muscle, and he's really challenging players as well. He's even caught the eye of Pep Guardiola, and if he's good enough to catch the eye of Pep Guardiola, he is good enough to be a top 5 fullback in the league. Yep, that's right. He will be a top 5 fullback in the Premier League next year. Guaranteed. Brighton, Billy Gilmour. Look, I promise you it's not biased.
You sucked!
Gilmour just plays like a Scottish Pirlo. He gets the ball from deep. He can make fantastic long progressive passes which can start counter-attacks or just regular attacks. He's not afraid to get the ball in tight areas and wriggle around everything. He's ferocious in a tackle, and he's just a really clever player. And with Brighton selling Alexis McAllister, potentially selling Caicedo, and playing Europa League football, they are going to need a squad for all this. And Billy Gilmour is going to get more play time than ever, and he's really going to shine this year. Burnley, Jordan Bayer. Now, Bayer's got a foot injury. It's actually unknown when he's going to come back, but he will be the breakthrough player for Burnley next year. I mean, he went massively under the radar for them last year as they got promoted as champions. The likes of Tella, Brownhill, they're going to get all of the glory. But he was on loan from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and it just got made permanent this summer for £15 million. And if Burnley are going to have a chance to stay up, which I believe that they will, it's going to be because of a strong defence. And he's going to be a reason for it with his progressive passing. He's solid defensively anyway, and he could even sneak his way into the German squad. He is that good. Chelsea, Madueke. You can tell this one by a country mile. He is a Poch player. Once he gets some minutes under a proper manager like Pochettino in a great system which incorporates high pressing play, quick progressive passing football like Poch likes to do, especially getting the wingers involved, he's going to get goals and assists galore next year. Guaranteed. Crystal Palace, Michael Elise. I know a lot of you will be saying, oh, well, he's already been a breakthrough star. Everyone knows about Elise. No, you're wrong, and let me tell you why. Look, yes, everyone knows Michael Elise. He's not some unknown gem or anything. I just think he's going to have this season where he has about 10 goals, 10 assists. He's going to get double digits in the both of them. And now with Wilfried Zaha leaving the club as well, he's going to be the main guy. And he causes defenders to quiver at their knees. He can go past anyone at will. And if he just becomes that tiny bit more clinical, you're looking at the best winger outside of the top 7. And I mean that. Everton, Nathan Patterson. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here. There's not many options at Everton. Now, yes, this one might be a bit biased, but it's also a bit hopeful in a way that he is a good, promising young player. Everything I've seen from him when he was playing at Rangers to even when he came in at Everton. But he is that bit injury prone and there's not many promising players coming through at Everton right now. So this is what your best bet is. Fulham, Harrison Reed. The English media love to overhype a good, decent, solid mid-table English centre-back. And that's exactly what Harrison Reed is. And I think that he's probably going to get linked with the England squad at some point. He had a really good, solid season last year, and that's exactly what they want the English media to be like. This guy, he's going to come in, he's going to take Tyrone Mings' place, Conor Godey's place now that they're gone, and he's going to get overhyped slightly, but it will be a good season for him overall. It will be a bit like that Harry Maguire Leicester season, but hopefully there's not an £80 million move at the end of it. Liverpool, Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo is the real deal, and there's a reason that Man United wanted to battle Liverpool for him. He's phenomenal, and he will be Liverpool's breakout player next year. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He is even going to challenge for the PFA Player of the Year. I think it will be between him and Erling Haaland yet again, and I think they'll go neck and neck, and he might even win it. He's that good. Luton, Tom Lockyer. First and foremost, I obviously think he's okay. He's back training, which is a good thing. And Luton have never been in the Premier League, so they need their leader to have an immense season. I think he's going to bounce back with a vengeance as well. He'll be glad that obviously Luton and his teammates, they got promoted, but he wasn't as part of it as he maybe would have liked to be. Obviously health pending, which it's good that he's okay now, but he's going to have a tremendous breakthrough season. Just being that almost Ryan Shawcross from Stoke, the real leader that is just solid, and they're going to really need that. Manchester City, Julian Alvarez. I mean, this one was difficult because there's not really any breakthrough stars at Man City. I mean, the likes of Cole Palmer, Luis Rico, maybe? But I think Alvarez, with departures that are going to be happening, maybe of Mahrez, maybe of Bernardo Silva, he's going to force his way into the squad and become a regular under Pep Guardiola on that right-hand side, and maybe through the middle when Haaland's not playing. Who knows, but he's the best bet. Manchester United, Alejandro Garnacho. He was the whole inspiration behind this video. Sometimes you just get a feeling, you're like, this guy is going to explode and he will be the young player of the year next year. I'd put my house on it. I don't actually own a house. I live in a flat. And don't tell my girlfriend either. Obviously, Man United fans are going to want that number 9 up top, but I think Ten Hag might actually push Rashford into the middle, which I don't think he should do for Marcus Rashford, but that's going to deliver a free space on the left-hand side, and he might even start on the right-hand side anyway. And Garnacho's just got that raw ability, the natural talent, and the flair, the sort of trickery, and the fact that he's brave enough to go past defenders. He's going to be a superstar, and he will be the young player of the year next year. Make no mistake about it. Newcastle, Joe Willock. Again, a player that everyone knows, but a bit in that Michael Elise role. He is the most underrated player at Newcastle. I mean, he's a true workhorse. He can dribble, go forward, go past the man. He can shoot, he can cross. What can't this man do? And he is the heart and soul of the team. He will be the breakout player for Newcastle next year. And he will be in the England squad. Nottingham Forest, Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson had a good year last year. I mean, I talked about his qualities in my Tottenham video. Go look at it and see how I predicted that Postecoglou would be the manager.
We do not care.
And look, Forest barely survived last year. Make no mistake about that. But Brennan Johnson's going to have to get a 20 goal and assist sort of year if they're going to have any chance of staying up. Him and Gibbs White are key. But I think Brennan Johnson's going to be the real breakout star. And he'll probably get a move away in January or next summer. Sheffield United, Anil Ahmed Hodzic. I'm going to call him Anil for short because I'm not pronouncing that last name again. Anil's going to be a key component in this Sheffield United back five. I mean, if they have any chance of staying up, he's got to have a breakout year. There's no two ways about that. He's got to be the best sort of centre-back that he can possibly be. Be a leader, be ferocious in the tackle, and make yourself intimidating. He's got to have the breakout season. Otherwise, Sheffield United are doomed. Tottenham, Richarlison. Now, I already plugged my Spurs video with the Brennan Johnson bit, but I think that Richarlison's going to have a wonderful season next year. I already touched on it in the Spurs video. Again, go watch that if you want. And I'm doubling down on it. Look, he's Postecoglou's kind of player. I mean, he'll be his Kyogo or Daisen Maeda. He's a willing runner. He's a brilliant dribbler on the ball, can carry the ball forward. He does have an eye for goal. I know it was a disappointing debut campaign for him, but if there's any manager in world football who's going to get the best out of Richarlison, it's Ange Postecoglou. He will be a breakout star, and he'll net 10 to 15 Premier League goals next year. Guaranteed. West Ham, Ben Johnson. I would say Flynn Dowes, but he might be going to Southampton, so I'm going to avoid that. He's going to push Kufal out of the starting 11, and he's got to right now because he's 23 years old, so it's now or never for him. And he's going to have that breakout year. He's not going to be in the England squad because they've got about 50 million sort of right backs there, but he is going to have a great year. He's good defensively, he's good offensively, and he just needs to polish the both of them up to really start to get his name out there and possibly get himself a move away from the Hammers. Wolves, Nunes. Wolves love their Portuguese superstars, and they made a superstar in Ruben Neves, who I'm still so sad that he will not be playing Champions League football next year. But Nunes, with João Moutinho also going as well, he's going to be the main man in the middle, and he's clearly the best player in the team, and he's going to have a lot more of the responsibility as well. So, can he keep them up? Who knows, but he'll be getting a transfer away even if they go down. So let me know if you thought I was right about any of them. Let me know if you thought I was wrong about any of them. You probably do. And if you would like to give this a like, a share and a subscribe, as I said in the beginning, that would be wonderful. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.